this way?
Yeah, I know a shortcut.
You go to school here?
Oh, no. They wouldn't accept the likes of you and me here, Meldrick. Marshfield Prep is for aristocrats, blue bloods. Very finest young gentlemen the South has to offer. Dr. Cox, what do we got here?
Amateur night. There are punctures all over the place. Lungs, heart, legs. There seems to have been a brief struggle.
No weapons have been found. No eyewitnesses.
What's your best guess on the time of death?
Well, Riggs only sat in the small muscle groups, and with him being outside all night, I'd say between 1:30 and 4 a.m.
Did this young man have a name?
Marshall Buchanan, 15, first-term student.
And you are?
Fort Highsmith, the headmaster and the one who found Marshall.
What time of day might that have been, sir?
5:45. I was out on my morning run.
Yeah, when was the last time you saw him alive?
Last evening, dinner.
By the way, Headmaster, how many black students you got at Larchfield?
3, including Marshall.
Well, congratulations. Now you're down to 2.
I resent the implication that this incident was racially motivated.
How many white students have you had murdered here lately? Hmm?
Hey.
Good morning.
Oh, Mary.
Hi.
Is Frank ready?
He's been awake since 5:30, dressed by 6.
How's his mood?
Excited. Anxious.
Coochie, good.
Coffee?
Oh, no thanks. It's new medication that Frank's on. Has there been any side effects?
Well, the blurriness is gone, but he gets nauseous a lot. Frank, Al's here to take you to the gun range. Frank?
Be right down.
Are you sure you don't want some juice or something?
Don't be nervous. I mean, he's gonna be fine.
Al. He's got to pass the exam this time. He's got to get back on the streets, closing cases. I mean, he can't live in this limbo anymore, and neither can I.
Well, he's been practicing for hours. He'll score through the roof.
And if he doesn't?
He'll take the test again.
In another month. Another long 30 days.
Let me assure you, Detective Lewis, we will assist your investigation in whatever fashion you require.
Marshall was wearing a medallion. And we found this one in his hand, which he may have grabbed from the neck of the person who stabbed him as they struggled. You want to tell us about these medallions, please?
Well, we give one to each new student at his matriculation. They don't engrave their names on it until graduation. It's a tradition.
Well, we're going to need a traditional little something ourselves. We're going to need a list of every student who ever received a medallion, past and present.
We go back over 2 centuries.
Current students. Well, let's start with the current ones, if you don't mind, Headmaster.
You'll have your list.
Thank you.
So, tell us about Marshall Buchanan. Come from money?
No.
Well, how was he able to afford the tuition?
Marshall won a statewide competitive scholarship, all expenses paid. He was something of a computer science prodigy. He had a straight A grade average, second highest in his class.
So he was something of a star then?
Scholastically.
Socially?
He was a dreadfully shy young man, though determined and fiery when provoked.
Well, he got in a fight? With who?
I don't remember the names, but it was harmless. The upperclassmen always haze the new boys. We try to stop it, but, you know. Marshall stood his ground, though.
And he ended up under it. Did your son have trouble with the other students at Larchfield?
Marshall never talked much about them. He never brought one of them home.
Oh, there was trouble, you bet. A scuffle in the last week or so. At the school late. Punches, shoves. I got it out of Marshall. They threw him in the water. And he can't swim.
He was such a trusting child. It broke his heart when they wouldn't take him in their choir.
Choir Larchfield Prep.
Yeah, he loved church singing.
Cheeks helped get him in for the next term. And that made Marshall real happy.
Cheeks?
Cheeks was the one that pulled him out of the water after those bullies pushed him in.
What was Cheeks' full name?
Or the name of the boys who pushed him in the water.
Cheeks was all he said.
Was he a student there? Was he a member of the staff?
I don't know.
Look inside that computer, Marshall's. He kept a journal.
No, my son never wanted to go to Larchfield. I forced him. I thought we'll send him to the finest private school, you know, with the nicest kids, thoughtful kids. And then he won't have to suffer what goes on, you know, the guns and the drugs and the killings. But it's so beautiful there. The first time I saw Larchfield, I cried. This is safe. My child is safe.
Hello,
Hey.
Dr. Cox.
Yep.
Kellerman, Homicide.
Huh. That's funny. Been chief ME for over a month now. I haven't seen you down here. Or the crime scene, for that matter. What, you don't do murders?
Well, I'm on restricted duty temporarily.
Oh, yeah? What'd you do wrong?
You don't know?
No.
Well, you gotta be about the only person in Baltimore who doesn't. It's been all over the headlines.
Yeah, I don't read papers.
I used to be in arson. I've been targeted by the feds along with some other arson detectives. We're suspected of taking bribes.
Did you?
No.
I believe you.
Why?
No, you got that kind of a face.
You wouldn't want to serve on the grand jury, would you?
What brings you down here, Detective?
I need the results of the Madeira exhumation from Munch.
Munch. Now, Munch, he'd have his hand out. Madeira. There you go. Kellerman, right?
Mike.
Juliana. Fuck up, Mike. Worst is yet to come.
Well, to quote one of the great thinkers of our time, what? Me worry?
These are Marshall's roommates, Mr. Derek Delman, Mr. Kemp Fowler.
Hey.
Detective Lewis, Detective Bayless.
Hey.
Okay, thank you very much. Headmaster Highsmith, that'll be enough for now.
They were underage.
Oh, this is just a preliminary discussion. Nobody's rights are gonna be violated here.
I'll be just outside the door.
Okay. So you knew Marshall for how long?
We've been roomies since the start of the term. 3 months.
Mm-hmm. You get along?
Sure.
Mm-hmm. When was the last time you guys saw Marshall alive?
Yesterday evening in the dining hall, around 6.
After dinner, Derek and I came right back here to study.
And went to bed.
Never left the room.
Never left the room. Where did Marshall go?
Maybe to the cyber cafe. He hung out there a lot.
Yeah. Who here at Largefield didn't like Marshall?
He was cool. Everybody liked him.
Uh-huh. Right. Come here. Okay, guys. We're gonna cut the crap, all right? Now, just between us, well, you know what I mean, you know? Who around here doesn't like blacks?
It's not that way at Largefield, sir.
Okay, I'm gonna ask an easier question. Where do I find Cheeks?
Cheeks?
Yeah.
Who's that?
I guess we got kind of an unsolved mystery here, don't we, boys? Somebody pushed Marshall Buchanan into the lake, and Cheeks pulled him out. But if Cheeks doesn't exist, then who did pull Marshall out, huh?
He wasn't pushed.
Marshall wanted to swim, but he was afraid of the water. He jumped in. It was kind of a test.
A test? What kind of a test?
He almost drowned. Kemp saved him.
Was there anyone else there?
Just the 3 of us.
Uh-huh. How long ago was this?
Last week, Thursday.
Okay.
Take the computer.
Let me see your medallions.
You can't do that.
Why not?
It's Marshall's.
What else here is Marshall's, eh, Mike?
That bureau and everything else over there. Those 2 shelves, that closet.
Well, I'll tell you what, kid, whatever was Marshall's is ours now. Do I need to get a consent to search for him, sir?
That won't be necessary.
So, who's this Cheeks?
Cheeks?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the name.
Well, we can either believe what Marshall's roommates told us, or we can write them off as the lying little bastards that they are.
Well, either way, we know that Marshall went into the drink last Thursday.
Yeah. But did he get pushed like his father remembers, or did he voluntarily jump like Derek and Kemp said he did?
Well, the headmaster was talking about this hazing business.
Yeah, but those are upperclassmen, and Derek and Kemp are in his class, so.
Well, what about Cheeks, huh? As soon as you mentioned that guy's name, those 2 kids got nervous.
Hey, what are you doing in there?
Never saw the inside of a cop car before.
Yeah? Take a hike. Little creep.
Why you got such a bug up your butt about that place?
I used to live around the corner. You know, when I was younger, my cousin and me, we used to sneak in, play on the athletic field until we got chased off. My cousin Jim wanted to get into Largefield more than life. And he was smart, and his dad owned the 3rd largest used car lot in the state. So they had money, and they were wasps. They weren't the right kind of wasps for Largefield's hallowed halls. And when he got rejected, he changed. I mean, he became a lawyer and all that, but he seemed to be willing to settle for less. But seeing him sitting there with that rejection letter in his hand, crying, that's something you don't forget.
Or in your case, forgive, huh?
Whatever.
Monica? Look, we gotta talk. You're my lawyer. You gotta do something. You gotta get the feds to move this investigation along faster.
That's exactly why they drag it out. So by the time they indict your bowl of quivering jello, you gotta try not to crack under the strain.
Well, that's easy to say.
Believe me, I know. Your 3 pals in arson couldn't take the pressure.
What do you mean?
Connolly, Goodman, and Perez, they decided to make plea agreements with the U.S. Attorney's Office.
But they pleaded out? To what?
Reduced jail time plus probation and community service.
Wait, now. Okay, now Mitch Rowan, he cops a plea to testify against Goodman, Connolly, Perez, and me. And now these guys have agreed to a deal. Who are they gonna testify against?
You.
But I'm the only one of the whole bunch who's innocent.
That's what they said at first.
Look, I don't care what they said. I'm innocent.
Detective, I don't make judgments about guilt and innocence. I'm here to give advice and counsel.
Okay, then advise me. Counsel me.
I think you should take a plea.
Okay, I have here crimes and misdemeanors for the last 6 months in the neighborhood surrounding Larchfield. And a month ago, the fire department responded to a firebombing at the school. A brand new red Mercedes E420 was torched and gutted, belonging to Horde Highsmith headmaster.
Huh. Funny he didn't mention that, him being so cooperative and all.
What did the fire boys come up with?
Nothing. Nothing. They weren't allowed to investigate. A high-priority vehicle arson comes down, the department has to turn its back and go home.
Woo, somebody over there's got a whole lot of clout.
Exactly what I'm saying, Bunk.
Well, report came back from the lab. No fingerprints were found on the medallion Marshall had in his hand. So the murderer was wearing gloves.
What about the Emmy? What do they say?
Yeah, some bruises. He had some welts on his behind. She says that he got hit with a leather belt sometime the last couple of days.
Well, we need to find the murder weapon. Okay, we need a complete sweep of the soccer area.
Detective Lewis?
Detective Bayless.
Sergeant Howard?
Fine, I'll see what I can put together right away.
Thanks.
What are you doing?
It's a still life. My version of Warhol's Empire. You see how the water is all calm and still? Well, someone comes up, gets a drink, the water becomes troubled. It's my metaphor for the homicide unit.
Mike, did you give me that stuff on Madeira?
I gave you the MA report.
The case folder, man. I asked you for it 2 hours ago.
Look, John, I'm looking all over for it, all right? I can't find it.
Forget it. I'll ask Judy.
How'd the firearms exam go?
Very good. Frank did very good.
Hey, Gene. So, Frank, when do you hear the results?
A few days.
You mean they couldn't tell you right there and then?
The system is designed to torture me.
Over here! Your men found something.
Oh, yeah, a pair of plastic gloves covered with blood. They're on the way to the lab right now, but we're pretty sure that the blood on the gloves will match Marshall's.
Headmaster, you promised us a student faculty list.
I have them right here. With the student list, you'll find we keep the names on the left side and the home address on the right side. The faculty names,
Hi,
you'll find
Smith.
them...
Your car was firebombed.
Yes, last month.
Uh-huh. Why weren't the police called?
The fire department was here.
And they were sent away.
Our lawyers and the insurance people handled all the details.
Now, was the bomber caught?
Not to my knowledge, no.
And what else are you hiding from us?
No one is hiding anything. The incident with my Mercedes has nothing to do with this tragic accident.
Well, why don't you let us decide that? What other tragic accidents have happened around here in, like, the past few months?
Nothing major.
Give me crumbs, all right? Give me just the smallest thing.
There was a kitchen break-in, a bike tire slashing. The school emblem was stolen and returned. Insignificant boyish pranks.
Now, you have a fourth-year student here by the name of McPhee Broadman?
Yes.
Any idea where he lives?
Somewhere in the Southwest, I believe.
Arizona. A town called Cheeks. McPhee Broadman, Detective Lewis, this is Detective Bayless.
Yeah, we'd like to ask you some questions about Marshall Buchanan.
I have a feeling I should phone my attorney.
What do you need a lawyer for? We just want some information.
Someone killed Marshall. It's your job to figure out who. At this point, anyone you talk to is a potential suspect, including me. You happen to know him better than most. My attorney says it's cool. We'll set up a meeting.
Were you that smooth when you were 16?
I had trouble matching my socks.
Do you know who McPhee Broadman's mother is?
No.
Judge Susan Andal?
Andal? Ooh, she's tough. Her gavel's got a hair trigger.
Brought me up on contempt of court charges once.
And now she's so mad she's belching solar systems. She wants us to stay away from our baby boy, and the bosses, they're hiding under their desks.
I don't care who the parents are or what forces at play. I'm gonna go back there. I'm gonna see
Bayless,
it.
I'm the primary here.
I don't care. I mean, I'm not gonna back off. McPhee Broadman killed Marshall Buchanan.
And what makes you so sure?
Tiny voice in my head.
Then go see Broadman. And when the cow patty hits the fan, make sure that tiny little voice in your head tells you when to duck.
Okay.
You want me to go with you, Bayless?
Yeah, you're the primary, aren't you?
You're back.
Yes, sir.
Leave us alone.
Thanks, fellas. So, you talked to your lawyer yet?
I talked to my mother, who is the law. You know, she'll punish you guys for coming to see me again.
We know.
And you came anyway.
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
You're a punk. I mean, for the record.
Where were you when Marshall Buchanan was stabbed to death?
At my mother's horse farm in Potomac. She and staff will confirm.
And you say that you knew him better than anybody.
We were friendlier last month. He asked me to get him into the choir, which I did, of course, but couldn't convince him to take my karate class.
You're a teacher?
I run a voluntary workshop. It's like any other extracurricular at Largefield. Sailing, photography.
Computers.
Computer science is a required course.
Which you've taken.
And flunked.
Hopeless with machines.
So, did you know Marshall's roommates?
Very well.
Were they good with computers also?
Excellent. Marshall was better.
Did you throw Marshall into the lake?
No. But Kemp did. And saved him from drowning.
You were there?
I heard. Don't you guys want to see my medallion?
Well, I didn't ask to see that. Detective Lewis, did you ask?
No, I did not.
No?
Don't screw with me, boys.
Twice.
Is that what you said, you pipsqueak? Huh? We're not boys. The only boy that I see here is you. That's it.
I'm nearly 17.
Which makes you the oldest one in your little crew. Marshall was only, what, 15 years old?
Yeah.
And Derek and Kemp, they hadn't even cracked puberty yet.
Yeah. What is it with you and young boys, huh?
Hey, Frank, any word yet whether you passed that firearms exam?
Nope.
Hey, Detective, any word on whether you passed that exam yet?
No.
Frank, hear about the firearms exam?
No, damn it! No!
Hey, G.
Interviewing the judge's son does not mean bouncing him off a wall.
There was no contact.
Right.
I took his chopsticks from him, got in his face. That's it, G, honest. I've done it before. It's worked.
Not this time. Judge Anhole wants to see you in the chambers tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. sharp. Gee. 9 a.m. sharp, Bailiffs.
Lewis, you got a call from Lindbergh over at Evidence Control.
The hard drive in the Buchanan kid's computer's been erased. Completely. There's not a thing left on it.
Any way of telling what time this all happened?
Yep, whoever did it missed several internal clocks. The erasing began around 4 a.m.
Yeah, Derek and Kemp said they were in the room all night, and if this happened at 4 o'clock, means we got ourselves a couple little knucklehead witnesses.
Or participants. Remember, McPhee said they were both good with computers.
Now, that's hearsay, which means we ain't got squat. What we need is that damn journal.
Buchanan may have made backup copies. They're ordinary discs, like this.
Yeah, where would he keep them?
Derek said Marshall hung out at a cyber cafe, and I saw one on the way out to the school.
Yeah, well, okay, well, I'm gonna check at his parents and see if we can find this disc before I get my flogging by Judge Andal tomorrow.
Personally, I never read the newspapers.
You said that twice now.
Any company?
Please. So how come you never read the paper?
Because every single time I've done an interview, I've been misquoted. I think if they're getting me wrong, must be getting everybody else wrong too, right? I've been asking around about you, and rumor has it you may take a plea.
Where'd you hear that?
Shiner.
Well, he's a highly reliable source.
Well, he also said that you're being set up for a free fall by the U.S. attorney and Roland and the other arson detectives.
If I take a plea, then I'm saying that I'm dirty and I stop being a cop.
So do something else.
Like what?
You're young, healthy, possibilities are endless, right?
I can't give up my badge. This is all I've wanted to do since I was a kid. Being a cop is who I am.
Oh, you're one of those?
One of those?
Yeah, one of those people who tie what they do to who they are. If I did that, I'd probably throw myself at the Patapsco River.
I guess I should put on my swimming trunks.
You want another? Maybe something stronger?
Yeah, I'll take a shot.
Jim Beam?
How'd you know that?
Like I said, you got that kind of a face. Excuse me.
You called my son a punk.
Yes, I did. I took his chopsticks away and I yelled at him nose to nose.
What is it you're after, Detective?
The murder of a 15-year-old boy?
My son did not kill him. McPhee was with me that night at the farm. Does that satisfy you? If there's more to this, tell me.
Your son might be implicated in several questionable campus events.
You base these suspicions on what?
Combination of factors.
Which is to say they're circumstantial.
Which doesn't necessarily mean untrue.
You're a good detective, Bayless. Whenever you're in my courtroom testifying, you're clear, concise, a little overdramatic sometimes, but good.
Thanks.
McPhee is a clever and cruel child. I'm his mother, but I'm also a judge. I make impartial rulings.
Well, you know him better than anyone else. You raised him.
Actually, I didn't. I got married young. And after a particularly vicious divorce, McPhee went to live with his father in Arizona. The day my ex-husband took McPhee, I was glad. That's a terrible thing to admit, isn't it? But something was always wrong between us. These questionable campus events. Is one of them the firebombing of the headmaster's car?
Yes, Your Honor. We're following up on that.
Don't. I'm one of Larchfield's regents. We settled with the insurance company.
It's a criminal act.
We have land grant exclusions. Therefore, no law was violated.
Well, Judge, you've dedicated your life to justice, to the truth. Aren't you curious as to who's guilty?
When he was 7, McPhee burned down a horse barn. McPhee is adept with thermite and other incendiaries. He refuses to learn how to work a computer, yet can recite endless formulas for blowing up the world. What would you do with a child like that?
So, are you admitting that McPhee torched the car?
I'm a judge. but I'm also a mother. You won't find any criminal complaints against my son, and I'll use whatever influence I have to ensure that remains so. As I said, I think you're a good detective. I look forward to seeing you in my court again. This conversation never took place. Good day.
Marshall Buchanan was the Michelangelo of computer technology. Look around. He did the design and installation of this whole club. Computer cybernetics 10 years ahead of the pack. He worked every night for almost a month putting this place together. An ordinary genius would have taken a year.
Do you know if Marshall made copies of the stuff he had on his dorm computer, his journal?
Sure. He stored them here. These are his backups.
All right. Anybody else come looking for these?
McPhee brought him in, the little Nazi. I lied and told him duplicates didn't exist.
He believed you?
Only after he gave me this.
Relax, Frank. You passed.
You know how when you take a test for a driver's license, you can tell by the examiner's behavior, how you did?
Yeah.
The range sergeant was indifferent.
Okay, so maybe you didn't pass. Oh, no, you passed. You passed. I'm kidding. This is Marshall's journal for the 3 months he spent at Larchfield. He uses 4 names: his own, Cheeks, Derek, and Kemp. Once in a while, there's a word like lake or bomb, but that's all.
Look at this. Look at last week, 5 entries. Cheeks asked, I said no. Cheeks asked, I said no. Cheeks asked again. What is up with his Cheeks guy?
Well, I don't know, but there's nothing here to directly link McPhee with Marshall's murder.
And look at this last entry. Gagged and whipped. Well, that explains the welts on his bust. This guy Cheeks can get anybody to do anything.
Gentlemen, Morgan Holbrook. I represent Derek Delmond. My client has a statement to make.
I killed Marshall Buchanan. I stabbed him and stabbed him until he was dead.
Is this your medallion?
Yes. Marshall pulled it off my neck as I attacked him.
Where'd you get the one you got on now?
I called the company in Towson that makes them. I ordered a new one and had them rush deliver it.
Well, when did you decide to murder Marshall?
On one of the marches.
What kind of marches?
A forced march. Like the ancient Romans. 2 days and 2 nights, no food and no water.
Who went on these marches with you? Huh? Kemp? McPhee?
Why did you kill him, Derek, huh? Why? Why?
Gentlemen, may I suggest we take a break?
Little Snot's gonna have a nervous breakdown.
Our best bet is bring in Kemp.
Yeah.
Pretend there's more in Marshall's journals than is actually there. Maybe we get one of these brass to finger McPhee.
Hey, Kay? Kay, has Kemp Fowler been brought in by the uniforms yet?
He's gone.
He's gone?
To Europe. Extended holiday with his parents.
So we extradite.
Until he's a viable suspect.
Well, you know, we bring in McPhee.
Oh, and do what? You got nothing on him.
We got one thing. Chink in his character. He thinks that he's smarter than us.
Who's to say he's not?
Where's Frank? Kay, have you seen Pebbles?
Try the men's room?
Frank? Frank. Gee, this really isn't the right time. No, this is the time. I mean, this is the time. This maybe the only time. You see, I begged and I yelled and I pushed and I pulled. But I've got the results of your firearms exam. You do? Yes. You passed. I passed. You passed.
Munch, you know where I can find Brody?
Look under any rock.
I'm serious.
He's around. What do you want him for?
I already needs a place to stay.
You're joking. You want him to stay with you on the boat?
Sure, it's a big boat.
Trust me, the Queen Mary's not big enough.
Well, come on. I mean, how bad a house guest can he be?
Well, I threw him out. Bayless threw him out. Then Lewis. The three of us don't agree on much. I take that as a sign.
Well, Brody told me he moved out of your apartment voluntarily.
Believe that? I have a used Yugo for sale. It runs like a dream.
Look, the kid needs a place to stay, okay? I mean, I feel for him. I know what it's like to be the odd man out. Besides, my life's in the toilet. How much worse can it get?
Okay, I'm here. Now what?
Well, I want to shake your hand. You beat our butts. Cannon case is over. I suspected you and I was wrong. I beg your forgiveness.
Excellent.
Yeah, you whooped us right out of homicide. Me, I got reassigned to the robbery unit. Less stress.
Where are you going?
Oh, I'm going to traffic. Corner Charles and Pratt.
You're too good a detective for that.
Met someone better.
Well, they can't kick you out of homicide. You solved the case. Derek confessed.
No. See, that just fell into our laps. The bosses know that, so, you know, they keep saying to us, you know, how on earth did you get your asses handed to you by a 16-year-old?
Embarrassing.
Well, it's life, guys. See you on the traffic circle.
Oh, don't go just yet. Why don't you sit down?
Yeah,
Stay with us for a minute.
We got a little paperwork to clear up, if you don't mind. We just need to ask you a couple questions about a couple of things here.
Yeah, like the firebombing of the headmaster's Mercedes.
Break into the kitchen.
Theft of the school emblem.
Reports of physical abuse.
Sexual abuse.
That's a lie.
Well, see, it's all right here. On Marshall's disc. He kept a journal and recorded every deed that you did, McPhee, or should I say every bad deed that you had Derek and Kemp and Marshall do, except the abuse, of course. You took care of that yourself.
This is bull. Marshall's discs were erased.
Really? Now, how on earth do you know that?
Tricky dicks. Hey, if you have evidence against me, let the court decide. I have the mother of all mothers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Mommy's gonna protect you.
That's right.
Maybe not this time.
I'm bored.
Sit down. Sit down. I said sit down! How's that feel, huh, punk? Have someone push you around? Someone who's bigger than you are? Now, maybe I should just whip your ass. Whip it just like you did to Marshall.
You really do want to end up walking a beat, don't you?
Hey, Ben, come on, man, that's enough. Come on, go outside and cool off. Cool off. Woo! Sorry about that, McPhee. Can I call you McPhee? Whatever. Hey, Bayless is a good cop. He just gets excited, you know. Me, I just want to get my pension and get the hell out of here.
Good man, Lewis. You know your place.
Thank you. It's tough knowing your place these days. A lot of people don't know their place. Marshall. Did he know his?
Marshall had a definite attitude.
So he didn't take orders?
He did for a while. Then...
He got uppity? So you had Kemp toss him in the lake. You knew he couldn't swim, so you had Kemp dunk him a couple times, just to put him back on the right track, huh? That's smart. No, that is. That's tough love. That's good psychology.
I thought his sense of morality was higher than mine.
Oh, how so? He committed every crime you asked him to, huh? Including the firebombing. Or was there one assignment that he just wouldn't agree to? One refusal that you just couldn't overlook? I mean, it's all right here in the journal. It says that you talked to him in private 5 times the week he died. That's 5 times that you couldn't convince him. And for that little act of defiance, for that insubordination, you had Derek stab him. But you know what? I don't think you wanted Marshall dead. No, I just think that Derek got carried away. And that is why I am in awe of you. See, because you took control of that situation. Huh? That's great leadership. That's like a Roman general. And then when things got tough, you had dare confess. That's amazing. I mean, you get these kids to do anything, don't you? Huh? Anything. Except for Marshall. He's the only one you couldn't control. Why's that? Was it because what you asked him to do was so incredibly evil?
Now, what could I have possibly asked Marshall to do that is so incredibly evil?
Commit murder. But we know all that. I mean, that's all right here on the backup disc. But what we don't know is who. So who? The headmaster? Was it the computer teacher who flunked you? Or a student who?
You still don't have a clue who you're dealing with, do you? Even if I confess, you can't touch me. The one I wanted dead, the person Marshall refused to kill, was my mother.
We need to move to suppress McPhee's statement. It's inadmissible. Being a minor, he should have had me with him. He wasn't properly Mirandized. They took advantage of his naivete.
I can't tell. Did we win, or did that little brat get exactly what he wanted?
Either way, Judge Andall lost.
Man, I find it extraordinary that she's still sticking with it.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I kind of admire her. Yeah, I think that parents should stand by their children.
Remind me to never have a kid with you. Here you go. Something for you. Give it to your cousin, Jim. Frank.
Hey.
Hey, partner. Been looking for you all day. I heard that you passed the exam.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
All right. So when are you going out back on the streets?
First death tomorrow.
Well, that is the best news.
Well, not for you.
What do you mean?
Well, the fun days are over. The easy days. I'm rested. I'm back. I'm meaner than ever.
Well, that sounds good.
Right. Here's your weapon. I always knew you were gonna pass the test. Thanks. The drug test isn't there.
What?
It's a good night. What are you doing?
Messages, they come in and they go out. Nothing changes. It's a metaphor for homicide.
Homicide needs no metaphor. Homicide just is.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Fort Highsmith.
Dr. Highsmith, what can you tell us so far?
How long has the boy been in school here? How old is the victim?
The student is 15. Excellent student.
Is there any truth to the rumor that this was